If you think you're good at putting things off, wait until you meet these professional procrastinators from the animal kingdom. While some of us struggle to return a text within 24 hours, these creatures have turned avoiding social interaction into an absolute art form. Let's start with the champion of canceling meetings, the desert spadefoot toad. While you might feel guilty for ghosting your friends for a week, this little fellow stays underground for up to 7 years. They burrow up to 3 feet deep into the desert soil, entering a state called estivation, basically a summer version of hibernation. Their bodies produce a special mucus that hardens into a protective cocoon, preventing water loss in the scorching desert heat. It's like having the world's most effective "do not disturb" sign. Sorry, I'm underground, call back in 7 years, that's their signature move. And the only thing that can make them emerge? Rain. Talk about being picky with your social schedule. But there's solid science behind this behavior. By staying underground, they conserve energy and moisture in the harsh desert environment. When the rain finally comes, these toads emerge en masse, creating a spectacle that happens less often than Olympic Games. They have just a few weeks to eat, mate, and lay eggs before the water dries up and they disappear again for another several years. But if you think 7 years is a long wait, meet the periodical cicadas. Their females wait 17 years to hear the most bizarre love song ever. Imagine waiting almost 2 decades just to hear bzzzzzzzzzzz. That's romance for you. These cicadas synchronize their emergence to overwhelm predators with sheer numbers, up to 1.5 million per acre. The sound they produce can reach 100 decibels, that's as loud as a motorcycle engine. It's like they're throwing the biggest party in nature, but it happens less often than World Cup championships. The most fascinating part? Scientists still aren't entirely sure how these insects count the years underground. They might be responding to changes in tree root chemistry, or they might have an internal clock that we don't yet understand. Now, here's the ultimate master of playing hide and seek, the coelacanth. Scientists thought it went extinct with the dinosaurs 66 million years ago, until one decided to crash a fishing party in 1938 off the South African coast. Talk about being fashionably late. These living fossils still hang out at depths of 500 to 800 feet, casually swimming around like they didn't just ghost the entire scientific community for millions of years. They can grow up to 6.5 feet long and weigh up to 198 pounds, that's one big missing person case. What makes them even more remarkable is that they barely changed in all this time. It's like they found the perfect Instagram filter 66 million years ago and just stuck with it. But the real king of social distancing is the bobbit worm. This deep-sea introvert only shows the tip of its body once in a blue moon. Growing up to 10 feet long, it spends most of its time buried in ocean sediment, with just its antennae poking out. When prey comes close, it strikes faster than your friend replying to a message they've been ignoring for weeks. These worms are so elusive that we still don't know much about their basic biology. Scientists aren't even sure about their average lifespan. They're basically the ocean's version of that mysterious neighbor you've lived next to for years but never really met. And let's not forget the Chinese giant salamander, a creature so elusive it makes Bigfoot look like an Instagram influencer. These magnificent amphibians can grow up to 6 feet long, making them the largest salamanders in the world. But spotting one in the wild is rarer than finding someone who has never seen a Marvel movie, theoretically possible, but highly unlikely. They prefer to stay in cool, fast-flowing mountain streams, hiding under rocks and in underwater caves. The most fascinating thing? They can absorb oxygen directly through their skin and have special sensory nodes that can detect the slightest vibrations in the water. It's like having a superpower, but using it exclusively to avoid social interactions. The fascinating thing about all these animals is that their rare appearances aren't just random acts of shyness. Each species has evolved these behaviors for survival, whether it's conserving energy, avoiding predators, or waiting for perfect breeding conditions. They're not procrastinating, they're just really, really good at timing. The desert toad's estivation, the cicada's synchronized emergence, the coelacanth's deep-sea lifestyle, these are all perfectly crafted survival strategies that have been refined over millions of years.